Hello and welcome to TriStar. Today I'm going to show you how to set your email settings in WinServe. To start, we're going to go to Maintain, Setup, and Email Settings. And we're going to want to change this radial dial into Send Email from Local Email Connection. The next step is it's going to ask you for some settings. Now, while we would like to be able to provide you with these email settings, unfortunately, everybody's email settings changes depending on who your email provider is. For this example, I'm going to use Gmail setup, but if you do not know your email settings, you can head over to google.com, and the easiest way to find them would be to search your email provider. So in this case, I am using Gmail, and search SMTP settings. If you are using something like GoDaddy or Microsoft's email provider, Microsoft 365, you could also search that. This really is the easiest way to do it. So for this example, I'm going to use Gmail. So for this example, since we're using Gmail, we can take the first thing, which is the SMTP server address, which is smtp.gmail.com. We're going to fill that in. It's then going to provide 2 ports. We recommend you use 587. If you use 465, it's less secure, and we've had issues with it. So you should actually get an error message if you try using that port. Then you're going to enter your email address. So in this case, we're using TriStar, I believe it's TriStar Video, TriStar Software Video. TriStar Software Video at gmail.com. Then it's going to ask for the username. The username in most cases is the same as your email address. Now it's also going to ask for a password. However, because this is a separate program that is using your email, the password you use to log in will not work for this. To start, what we need to use for the password is the 2-factor authentication password or an app password. To start, we're going to go to our Gmail account, and if you have a different email provider, they should also have different ways to enable an app password. Generally, again, a Google search for example, GoDaddy app password. Generally, this will give you an article on how to create those app passwords. So for Gmail users, I'm going to go to Manage Your Google Account, and then I'm going to go to Security. And on this page somewhere should be 2-step verification. To start, we need to turn this on. Let's go ahead and turn this on. And it's just going to ask for our password again. In order to set up 2-factor authentication, you need to have a phone number associated with that account. This is a required step in order for 2-factor authentication. Once you've entered your phone number, they should send you a text message with a code. So in this case, I'm going to enter the code. And then you can turn on 2-step authenticator. Now that we've turned it on, we're going to go back to 2-step verification. And if you scroll all the way down, there's going to be a section called App Passwords. We're going to go ahead and click that. And then it's going to ask you for the app name. This does not affect anything. In our case, we're going to name it WinservePlus, but realistically, you could name it anything you want. And then we're going to hit Create, and it's going to generate these characters. This is our app password. So we're going to go back to WinServe once we've copied that, and we're going to paste it into the password field. Then we can hit the test button, and it'll tell you what's wrong. So the first thing it says is a secure connection was not authenticated. So that means that we need the first checkbox checked. I also know that with Gmail, we need the second checkbox checked. So I'll go ahead and check that. Generally, the best way is to hit the test button with each of these checkboxes checked or unchecked until you find the combination that works. Now that we have our settings correct, we're going to go ahead and hit the test button, and we should see email sent. And if we go back to our email and we check a few things, first we should have a letter sent to ourselves. It generally says the same phrase and a series of numbers. We can also check our sent email, because remember, this is the email we're sending the email from, and we should also see that same exact email. Now, if you send any sort of emails from the system, for example, if you wanted to have a status and you wanted to check the email status box, now when you fill out this status and say whatever you want to say, it should prompt you with this email box, and then you can choose who you want to email the status to. So for this example, we're going to email it to ourselves, and it should say a test email that says test. So now that that email is sent, we can go back to our email and just make sure, yep, the status was sent. That is how to set your email settings in WinservePlus. Unfortunately, many of the settings require you to Google the answers. Well, it would be nice if we could provide them. There are many different email providers, and all of their settings change depending on the email providers.